Psalm 25 is one of my favorite prayers in all of Scripture, not because it is dramatic or overflowing with grand promises, but because it is honest. It is the soul of a man who has known both triumph and failure, who has wrestled with uncertainty, with regret, and with long seasons of waiting and still, in the midst of all of it, chooses to lift his eyes to God. I love this psalm because it reminds us that faith is not about performing perfectly. It is about coming honestly. David, the warrior king, who led armies and wrote history with his courage, does not appear here as a conqueror, issuing demands. He appears as a son, asking to be shown the way. In this psalm, David teaches us something that goes against everything the world celebrates. He teaches us that the highest expression of strength is not dominance, it is surrender. From the opening line to the final verse, he lays down every trace of his own agenda and invites God into his confusion, his longing, and his deep need for direction. This is why Psalm 25 remains one of the most searching and soul-settling prayers a believer can carry into any morning. For every heart that wakes up uncertain and quietly breathes, "Lord, please show me what to do today." When David begins in verse 1, he says, "In you, Lord, my God, I put my trust." That single line carries the weight of the entire psalm. Before he voices a single need or describes a single problem, he establishes where he stands. He declares his foundation, and that foundation is not his own wisdom or his track record. It is trust in God alone. True guidance has always begun where self-reliance ends. So many of us come to God asking for direction, but we secretly hope his answer will line up with what we have already decided. David does something entirely different. He releases the outcome before he even knows what it will be. He shows us that when you genuinely trust God with your future, the grip of confusion begins to loosen. If you feel lost today, perhaps it is not more information you need. Perhaps what you need most is a deeper surrender. David prays, "I lift up my soul to you." He is not simply handing over his schedule or his plans. He is offering his emotions, his anxieties, his entire inner world, everything he is, laid open before God. That is where real guidance begins. Not with a perfect plan, but with a fully open heart. Then, in verses 4 and 5, David continues, "Show me your ways, Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth, and teach me, for you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long." Look at what he is actually asking for. Not ease, but understanding. Not comfort alone, but clarity. He does not pray, "Lord, make this painless." He prays, "Lord, make this plain." That distinction is everything. The beginning of wisdom is not arriving at all the right answers on your own. It is becoming someone who is genuinely willing to be taught. We so often come before God and say, "Lord, bless what I have already started." But Psalm 25 draws us into a completely different posture. It invites us to say, "Lord, show me yours before I show you mine." When humility becomes your prayer, it becomes the very doorway through which God's direction enters your life. And when you choose to follow the shepherd's voice above every competing sound, you will never ultimately lose your way, even when the path you can see runs out beneath your feet. In verses 6 and 7, David shifts the atmosphere of his prayer. "Remember, Lord, your great mercy and love, for they are from of old. Do not remember the sins of my youth and my rebellious ways. According to your love, remember me, for you, Lord, are good." This is among the most tender confessions ever written. A king, someone with power, status, and a legacy, strips himself completely bare before God and asks him not to hold the past against him. David does not come boasting about his victories. He comes banking entirely on mercy. And that is the deepest expression of humility, understanding that God's willingness to forgive your failures begins exactly where His mercy steps in. Perhaps you have looked back at a chapter of your life and thought, I have gone too far, been too inconsistent, failed too many times to be trusted again. David shows us the truth. Mercy does not just cover history, it rewrites it. God does not look at you through the lens of your worst moments. He looks at you through the lens of the redemption He purchased specifically for you. When you live in that humility, you invite grace into every corner of your life. And grace is the very thing that takes a person who has stumbled and shapes them into someone who walks with genuine and lasting purpose. Then David opens a window into the very character of God's guidance in verses 8 through 10. Good and upright is the Lord, therefore He instructs sinners in His ways. He guides the humble in what is right and teaches them His way. All the ways of the Lord are loving and faithful toward those who keep the demands of His covenant. What a freeing and profound revelation. Guidance is not a reward earned by the spiritually disciplined. It is a gift freely extended to the genuinely humble. God does not lead the ones who have everything figured out. He leads the ones who honestly admit they do not. The more you yield, the more the path ahead illuminates. We often want God to show us the entire journey in advance, every turn, every milestone, every destination. But He typically reveals only one step at a time, and that is completely intentional. He is not training us to be planners and strategists. He is growing us into faithful followers. Divine direction flows consistently toward a teachable heart. If you are willing to be led, God is always willing to lead. In verses 11 through 14, the psalm turns deeply personal again. For the sake of your name, Lord, forgive my iniquity, though it is great. Who then are those who fear the Lord? He will instruct them in the ways they should choose. They will spend their days in prosperity, and their descendants will inherit the land. The Lord confides in those who fear Him. He makes His covenant known to them. Pause and really sit with what is being said. God confides in those who fear Him. The Creator of everything, of galaxies and oceans and the breath inside your lungs, shares His heart with surrendered and reverent souls. The fear of God David describes here is not dread or terror. It is a deep, reverent awe that naturally produces understanding and genuine closeness. When you choose to live in real nearness to God, He begins to open His heart to you. He gives you insight that does not come from education or experience alone. He gives you peace that your circumstances cannot explain, and wisdom that reaches far beyond your natural capacity. Intimacy with God unlocks revelation, not because you have achieved a special status, but because you have chosen a surrendered posture before Him. Then in verses 15 through 21, David opens the most vulnerable and honest section of his prayer. My eyes are ever on the Lord, for only He will release my feet from the snare. Turn to me and be gracious to me, for I am lonely and afflicted. Relieve the troubles of my heart and free me from my anguish. Look on my affliction and my distress, and take away all my sins. Guard my life and rescue me. Do not let me be put to shame, for I take refuge in you. May integrity and uprightness protect me, because my hope, Lord, is in you. Notice what actually determines David's freedom. It is not where he is standing. It is where he is looking. He does not fix his gaze on the traps laid around him, on the enemies pressing in, or on the chaos of his circumstances. He fixes his eyes on the Lord. Where your attention lives, your peace ultimately follows. When your gaze stays anchored on God, your heart remains steady, even when everything visible around you is shaking. David understood that guidance is never merely about finding the right road. It is about staying fixed on the right person. And finally, in verse 22, David extends his heart far beyond his own situation and prays, "Redeem Israel, O God, from all their troubles." Even in the middle of his own pain, he turns his attention toward others. That is the unmistakable mark of spiritual maturity. When your personal suffering becomes the fuel for intercession, when you can pray for others while you yourself are still waiting for your own breakthrough, something moves in the heavenly realm. Psalm 25 does not end in sorrow, it ends in expansion. David arrives in prayer alone and leaves with compassion for the crowd. When your prayers widen beyond yourself, your own healing tends to deepen. I rest in the assurance that no plan formed against my peace can ultimately succeed when my foundation is rooted entirely in you. Show me your ways, O Lord, and lead me into paths of truth that actually lead somewhere worth going. I do not want to wander through the one life I have been given, chasing every open door without pausing to discern whether you opened it. I want to walk the specific lane you have marked for me, the one shaped with purpose, lined with wisdom, and protected by grace at every vulnerable and exposed point. When I am tempted to race ahead of your timing, slow me down with your peace. When fear wants to freeze me in place, give me the faith to take the next step forward. Teach me not only to seek your will as a concept, but to genuinely love it, even when it leads me through stretches that are far from comfortable or straightforward. Let every choice I make today be moved by your Spirit, rather than driven by my shifting emotions. I surrender my preferences, my carefully constructed plans, and my personal timeline to the one who already sees the end from the very beginning. Lead me in your truth and instruct my heart in your ways, for you alone are the God of my salvation. Lord, so many voices press in from every direction, the noise of ambition, the weight of other people's expectations, the pull toward approval I have sometimes chased more desperately than I have chased you. But none of them can lead me the way you can. I do not simply want to know what is right in theory. I want to live it daily, in ways that are visible and consistent over time. Correct the thoughts in me that do not align with your word. Bring to light any motivation that does not genuinely reflect your heart. When I begin to drift, even slowly and almost imperceptibly, draw me back with the steady and gentle pull of your love. Be my shepherd through every hour of this day. I choose to listen before I speak, to wait before I decide, to follow your leading even in the moments when the reason is not immediately clear to me. You did not save me only to secure my eternal destination. You saved me to be a living demonstration of what heaven's culture looks like expressed on earth right now. So lead me, Lord, in the only way that leads somewhere genuinely and permanently lasting. Remember, Lord, your tender mercy and the steadfast love that has been quietly following me through every season of my life. Even in the seasons when I was not paying close attention, you were there covering me from dangers I never saw coming, providing for needs I never thought to voice, and extending forgiveness over sins I had not yet gathered the courage to confess. You were faithful and present when I was too distracted to notice. You were patient when I was stubborn and resistant. You were generous when I had done absolutely nothing to earn it. Today I stop to thank you not only for what you have done, but for the kind of God you simply and consistently are. Your mercy carries no expiration date. Your compassion does not wear thin with repeated use. Every morning it arrives fresh and new. Every time I fall short, it finds me exactly where I am sitting. Lord, let your mercy be the quiet song beneath every ordinary moment of this day, and let your grace set the steady rhythm for every step I take. Forgive the failures of my past, Lord, the times I rushed ahead without waiting to hear from you, the moments I leaned on my own reasoning above your quiet and patient voice, the seasons where I trusted my own understanding so heavily that I nearly missed what you were trying to build in me. Cover all of it in the fullness of your grace. I cannot reach back and undo what happened in those moments, but I can choose today what I carry forward from them. Not the weight of the rebellion, but the beauty of the redemption you worked through every piece of it. I am deeply grateful that you do not keep a running record of every failure. You keep your promises. Every scar left behind by my past has now become a marker of your mercy in my story. Where guilt once pressed me low, gratitude now lifts my head. Thank you for the cross of Jesus Christ, which rewrote the entire narrative of who I am. Because of what he did, I am not locked into who I was. I am fully and completely who you say I am, forgiven, restored, and deeply and permanently loved. Good and upright are you, Lord. Teach me to walk in genuine humility before you, not as a performance, but as a way of being that shapes everything about how I move through life. There is no room where your spirit is fully present for pride to survive. Teach me to listen with an open heart rather than a defensive one, to obey without delay and without quiet negotiation, to serve without positioning myself to be noticed or recognized for it. I want to be a vessel you can genuinely trust with the things that matter to you. Not a perfect vessel that is beyond me, but a clean one, a willing one, a yielded one. If humility is truly the doorway into your wisdom, then let me make a permanent home in that posture. I would far rather be small in the world's estimation and significant in your sight than to have it the other way around. Keep my heart low before you, and my hands consistently lifted toward you in worship and in honest need. Lead the humble in what is right, Lord, and reveal to them the beauty of walking in faithful obedience to your covenant. That is what I ask for today, not success that skips character development, not advancement that bypasses integrity, not a position my heart is not yet ready to steward responsibly. Lead me to make choices today that genuinely honor you in every visible and invisible way. Help me to speak words that leave people more whole and more hopeful than when they encountered me. Help me to act in ways that reflect the values of your kingdom rather than the relentless pressures of this world. Let integrity be the foundation my life is built on, and let compassion be what my life becomes known for over time. When temptation comes to bend a little, to cut a corner, to compromise just this once for the sake of convenience, anchor me firmly in your truth. Help me value obedience over recognition and character over comfort. All the paths of the Lord are mercy and truth, and I choose to walk in both today. I walk away from bitterness that has quietly occupied space in my heart, and I choose the liberating freedom of genuine forgiveness. I walk away from fear that has been limiting my steps, and I choose the boldness that faith produces. I walk away from the exhaustion of trying to control everything, and I choose the clarity and rest that comes with real surrender. Let your mercy make me soft where I have hardened, and let your truth sharpen me where I have grown dull and complacent. For the sake of your name, O Lord, forgive every shortcoming in me, and restore what has been damaged or stained. Wash me thoroughly in the river of your mercy. Purify not only my behavior, but my thoughts, my motivations, the deep desires I carry, that even I sometimes do not fully understand. I do not want a surface-level righteousness that appears impressive from a distance. I want to be genuinely transformed from the inside, the kind of change that only you can produce in a human life. For your name's sake, let my life carry undeniable evidence of your goodness, evidence that cannot be explained simply by my own ability or effort. When people observe my life over time, May what they see point consistently and clearly back to you. Let my story ultimately exist to serve your glory rather than to showcase my own achievements. Teach me to fear you rightly, not with the shrinking dread of someone expecting to be rejected and condemned, but with the deep and reverent awe of someone who understands they are standing before something infinitely holy and simultaneously infinitely good. Let that genuine awe replace every casual or routine approach to who you truly are. Let real respect displace the shallow religious habits that go through the familiar motions without ever truly encountering your presence. Lord, I do not want to serve you from obligation or out of habit alone. I want to serve you from a place of real love, love kindled and deepened by encountering your goodness, your patience, and your relentless pursuit of my heart through every season. Teach me that the truest expression of fearing God is not running away from you, but running toward you with everything I have, because you are entirely holy and entirely safe at the same time. May reverence keep me anchored in humility. May love keep me genuinely close to your heart. And may your spirit keep me steady when the pressure of life tries to push me off course or pull me away from what matters most. I do not want to walk by what my eyes can see and what my mind can independently calculate. I want to walk by surrender daily, conscious, deliberate surrender of everything I am into everything you are. Lead me down paths that stretch and expand my faith rather than merely confirming my existing comfort. Make my life a living expression of what it looks like to trust you with everything, including the things that feel most uncertain and most out of reach. Let my choices become a form of daily worship. Let my decisions over time tell the story of someone who genuinely believed that God is good and that his ways are better than anything they could construct on their own. When the road shifts unexpectedly and the way forward becomes difficult to read clearly, I will anchor myself in the truth of Psalm 25, that you guide the humble, instruct the willing, and never abandon those who wait on you with an honest and open heart. Lord, let my eyes be ever fixed on you, for only you have the power to free my feet from every snare that has been carefully laid for me. Just as David prayed in Psalm 25 verse 15, my eyes are ever on the Lord, for only he will release my feet from the snare. So I lift my full attention to you this morning. Everything around me is competing for my focus, anxiety about the future, regret about the past, the relentless noise of the present moment. But you are my true north. You are the constant and unwavering light that does not fluctuate with the mood or circumstances of any given day. When I give my attention entirely to the size of my problems, they expand and seem to dominate everything in sight. But when I turn my gaze fully toward you, they shrink in the reality of your presence and your power. Keep my eyes from drifting toward fear and frustration. Anchor them to your promises, your faithfulness, and the perfect timing you have never once abandoned. Because when my focus stays on you, chains begin to loosen, my steps grow more certain, and the way that appeared completely unclear begins to open before me. Turn to me, Lord, for there are moments when loneliness arrives, even in the middle of a full and seemingly normal life. As Psalm 25 verse 16 declares, "Turn to me and be gracious to me, for I am lonely and afflicted." I bring that same unguarded need to you right now. Sometimes the quiet seasons feel heavier than the visible storm seasons. Even when people are surrounding me on every side, I can feel completely invisible, deeply unheard. But Lord, you never overlook me. You are drawn toward the brokenhearted. You draw close to those who are crushed and weary in spirit. Wrap me in the warmth of your nearness today. Let the presence of your Spirit fill every hollow and empty space within me. When loneliness whispers that I have been forgotten and left behind, let your voice speak louder and clearer, declaring that I am loved, that I am chosen, and that you know my name better than I know it myself. Relieve the weight I carry, Lord, and bring me out from underneath it. As Psalm 25 verse 17 declares, relieve the troubles of my heart and free me from my anguish. I bring to you the burdens I have been holding quietly and without sharing. The worries I have not put into words. The fears I have been carrying without fully acknowledging them. Lord, lift them off my shoulders today. Replace the anxiety that has taken root in me with deep and settled assurance. Turn every ache and every point of internal pressure into an altar where your peace reigns unchallenged. Calm what has been churning inside me, and remind me that your peace is not something that waits for perfect circumstances before it arrives. It is born from placing perfect trust in you regardless of what the circumstances look like. When my heart trembles today, let it tremble because I am standing in genuine awe of you, not because I am consumed by fear of what tomorrow holds. Guard my life and rescue me, Lord. Let integrity and uprightness stand as genuine protection while I wait faithfully on you. As Psalm 25 verses 20 and 21 say, guard my life and rescue me. Do not let me be put to shame, for I take refuge in you. May integrity and uprightness protect me, because my hope, Lord, is in you. Father, my request today extends beyond protection from external danger alone. I am asking for deliverance from every internal deception, from every subtle compromise that tries to make itself look entirely reasonable, from every slow drift away from your truth that begins so quietly I almost do not notice it happening. Let integrity serve as my armor. Let uprightness shield me when the pressure of difficult circumstances arrives. When I am tempted toward the shortcut, remind me that integrity may cost something in the immediate term, but what it produces over time is worth every sacrifice it requires. Keep my soul whole while I wait, because every moment of genuinely waiting on you is being quietly woven into something far more meaningful than I can currently see. Keep me from allowing bitterness to harden my heart in the waiting. Help me to forgive as freely and as consistently as you forgive me. Bitterness poisons the heart of the one holding it far more than anyone else. But forgiveness is the key that unlocks the prison door, and more often than not, I discover that the one who has been imprisoned is me. Help me to release every offense I have been quietly holding, to walk in the same grace you extend toward me every single morning, and to trust that your justice covers everything I am willing to release into your hands. When resentment tries to surface again, let the flood of your mercy completely and finally drown it out. When despair comes knocking and tries to convince me that your plans have somehow been derailed or forgotten, remind me of the truth you spoke through Isaiah. My thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. Lord, I do not always see the full picture of what you are carefully and intentionally doing. There are moments when the path you have chosen for me feels far longer and far harder than I originally anticipated, and I have to actively resist the conclusion that something has gone irreparably wrong. What I experience as delay is often your preparation actively unfolding beneath the surface where I cannot see it. What registers to me as a permanently closed door is often your protection from something I do not yet have the visibility to understand. I may not have the complete picture, but I know and trust the one who is painting it. And you have never once produced something careless. Give me the enduring faith to rest and remain steady, even when the road stretches much further than I expected. Redeem, O God, not only my own life, but the lives of everyone who is trusting and waiting on you in this season. Just as Psalm 25 verse 22 closes with, Redeem Israel, O God, from all their troubles, I stretch my prayer far beyond the borders of my own need today. I pray for the families carrying burdens that have grown too heavy to bear alone. I pray for the hearts that have been shattered by loss and are still searching for solid ground. I pray for those standing in front of closed doors with no clear sense of what to do next, and for those wandering in a wilderness season that seems to stretch on without a visible end. Redeem this generation from the confusion and hopelessness that has grown so widespread and so pervasive. Let your mercy sweep through communities and across nations, reigniting faith wherever the flame has nearly burned out. Let your people rise again, not in arrogance, but in genuine compassion, holiness, and love for one another and for you. Lord, I thank you that not one tear has gone unnoticed. Not one prayer has been unheard. Not one moment of faithful, patient waiting has gone unseen by you. You are actively at work even right now in this very moment, redeeming what appeared broken and restoring what seemed permanently and irretrievably lost. My heart places its full trust in you. My soul finds its complete rest in you. And my eyes remain steadily and unwaveringly fixed on you. You are my teacher when I need to learn, my shepherd when I need to be led, my redeemer when I need to be completely restored, and my closest and most faithful friend through every chapter of this journey. So today I declare with the same unshakable confidence that David carried, my eyes are ever on the Lord. My heart is guarded by his truth, and my future, every uncertain, unwritten, beautiful piece of it is completely and safely held in his hands. In the mighty and matchless name of Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen. Now that we have prayed together and opened our hearts genuinely before God, let us take a moment and allow what we just experienced to settle. Because every authentic encounter with God leaves something behind, a truth that stays, an impression that lingers longer than the moment itself, a light that continues burning even after you step away. Psalm 25 gives us timeless anchors that speak directly into the heart of any believer who is genuinely trying to walk in step with God's will. Guidance flows from surrender, never from striving. When you finally release your tight grip on the outcome you have been chasing, you make genuine space for God to step in and lead. David never arrived with demands. He arrived with open, yielded hands. When you surrender, something shifts and heaven moves. Humility is what opens the map of divine direction. Pride creates a kind of spiritual blindness that makes it nearly impossible to recognize what God is doing right in front of you. But humility clears the lens completely. The lower you go before God in genuine surrender, the more clearly the way ahead comes into focus. And when you cannot trace his hand anywhere in your circumstances, you are being invited to simply trust his heart. There will be seasons, perhaps you are right in the middle of one, where the evidence of God's activity simply is not visible to you. But the absence of what you can see does not indicate the absence of what he is doing. Faith is the daily choice to believe that his unseen hand is still steering every single detail of your story. His mercy always remembers you, even in the seasons when you have somehow forgotten yourself. You may have walked through profound shame or confusion or significant loss, but God never once loses track of where you are. His mercy finds you in the exact place where your own regret left you sitting. And his delays are never denials, they are preparations carefully disguised as waiting. The space between the prayer and the promise is not a punishment for something you did wrong. It is the training ground for the person you are being trusted to become. You are not waiting aimlessly. You are being shaped and strengthened for something that requires everything you are being made into right now. Let these truths linger in your heart today. Let them reshape how you think, how you pray, and how you move through every hour that lies ahead. And before you step fully into your morning, I want to ask you something I genuinely hope you will sit with for a moment. Which verse from Psalm 25 lands most deeply in your heart right now? Is it the verse about trust, the one about mercy, or is it the one that says, "Show me your ways, O Lord, teach me your paths"? Take a moment, reflect honestly, and share it in the comments below. Someone who is walking through something difficult right now may need to encounter the very verse that is speaking to you today. And as you step fully and courageously into this new day, may the presence of God walk ahead of you and clear the way. May His peace settle around you in a way you can almost physically feel. May His wisdom quietly guide every significant and seemingly small decision you face. From Haven Oasis, I speak a blessing over your morning. Walk in grace. Speak with peace. Move forward with the settled confidence of someone who is divinely guided and personally known. We will see you in tomorrow's prayer.